number 5. Hope you can see. So this step number 5, I will be introducing you to sketches. As you remember on the previous step, I tried to sketch some few other, selections and so forth of chairs. So I want you now to do a diagram. I want you to do a diagram, and that diagram, it's always better when it's like that. So let's say this is my paper. So you divide it into almost even 12 sections. So remember what I previously drew there. It was more of a, I was actually supposed to introduce this, so I just forgot to, I just went on to, because with mind mapping, that's what it does to you. With mind mapping, you just get carried away. You go on and on. There's no stop until you decide that I want to stop. So with those illustrations, because we had like, let me just change this one to the black one so that we can be in a position to see. I want us to 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. So on your paper, divide it in this segment so that it's more clean and more easier, instead of illustrating things which are just floating on the air. So when you do your sketch, let me first introduce what are sketches. These are just rough drawings. So rough drawings, they are not final, they are not. It's just to have an idea about a certain drawing. So I want you to be in a position to say, no, okay, this is my chair, and that's it. This is what I was supposed to do previously on this chart. So we have maybe a pendulum hanging chair, which is suspended. So we have benches in the street. So this is how you are going to lay out all your whatever thinking which you have in mind. Remember that, huh? So let's say we have also another chair here, which is like that. Also center of gravity, and remember it's got wheels and so forth. And here maybe we probably have, let's say, a single armrest. So this is my armrest chair. So then here we probably have, what else? What can we have? Maybe a stool. So this will be maybe this type of stools. But some of the stools, they can also be already hanging like that. So, and so forth, so there are so many chairs we can have, guys. So, and I want you just to select what type of chair am I going to focus on. Maybe just a plain chair, just like that, with only 3 legs, without any armrest. So this is the chart which I want you to do when you do your sketches. So, but the preliminary sketches needs to be in this stage. So now remember that we have selected, now it's more easier for me to be able to say, I'm going to select a certain chair because I can actually see it here. So I'll say this will be maybe my number 1 chair. This is option number 1, because I want you to now start to sketch 3 sketches, 3 times sketches. You need to make 3 sketches, and each sketch needs to be on a separate paper on its own. So now you take this, you need to put it here, and when you put it here, so you need to start to observe exactly what kind of chair you are putting on. This is now where observation comes in. Observation. This is where observation comes in. So if I'm looking at this, quick illustrations or quick sketches, I need to say, I'm taking this one and I put it here. So I don't know if there is a chair here, so which maybe one can look at. So, but probably maybe not. So what I can do is just, maybe I'm going to observe the chair which is there. So which is this one, or it's actually a stool. So on its own, so I'll illustrate. And remember, guys, when you illustrate or when you sketch, you observe what you are looking at. You observe exactly what you are looking at. So it's not perfection, but this is just to get the outlines, and the contours are actually the best way to be able to illustrate this. So definitely I will say, but the stool you are sitting on is got about 4 legs, which are linked in a manner like that, isn't it? So this will be my stool, the way I see it. But keep on observing, keep on observing, keep on observing and see what kind of stool are you actually looking at. So now, let's say now I want to look at another chair, which is maybe number 2. I'll look at probably this one. So chair number 2, I need to be able to look at it and observe what is it that it's having. It's not just imaginary now. So you start to observe. That's why I say here you do what? You observe. You look at the items which you want to work on. So those items are what? They must be in front of you. They must be within you. They must be within reach so that you can illustrate them. So my option number 2 will be what? Will be this chair, which is an armrest chair. So let's see if we can actually illustrate a chair which we see here. So the chair which is sitting in front of me, so I'll probably go like that. And I will illustrate this. But please try to observe. Try to observe, because if there is no observation, so this is more like, the king's chairs, especially with the ones which are having an armrest, So maybe here it's got something here. So try to observe whatever the details are there. Even the legs, some of them, you realize that, we think it's just a normal straight leg, but only to realize that there is maybe something in front. So try to observe. So let's assume now this is my chair. And as you assume, what I forgot also to illustrate here, these chairs are not just hanging. They're sitting, you are observing them, you are looking at them at some point in front of you. And as you are looking at them, there is already light, or, you don't need to illustrate everything, but just to highlight, you realize that there is a little bit of a shadow down there. There is a little bit of a shadow down there. See? So, in a way, just on an illustrative format, this is what I want you to do. You see? Already I have an idea of how that chair is and where the shadow is falling on. So now let's take, for instance, now our selection number 3, which is going to be what? Which one can I select? Let's say a bench. So let's say a bench. Let's select a bench. So, but I'll select a bench which is a little bit more simple. So I'll take it like that. Maybe sometimes that bench is made out of what? Strips of wood where you can sit. So that, the reason why benches are more open is so that, because they're mostly way on the outdoor. And chairs which are on the outdoor, they have a certain function. And their function is what? So that they cannot trap water. Because you realize that the ones which are inside, if you put them outside, they cannot even function for a day or two, or in rainy seasons or certain conditions. So this, let's say, will be my bench. So under here, just the shadow. But on an illustrative format. So try to observe. Try to observe exactly what you are trying to do. So this will be my 3 main sketches. And remember, when I say you're doing sketches, it's just a rough drawing which you are looking at. As you are looking at the drawing, so you do it on rough scale, whereby you are looking at their own details. So this will be the end of what? Step number 5. So now from step number 5 and step number 6, you start to differentiate the sketches and the, and the drawing, because when we jump into step number 6, I'll be explaining exactly about the drawing. So now that's when now you have to select one of your best chairs, which you need to focus on.